You weren't born with a poor mindset. You were trained to think small, to be afraid of risk, to seek comfort over growth. They told you to play it safe, to be realistic, to get a job, not build an empire. And over time, you believed it. You accepted the rules of a game that was never designed for you to win. That's how poverty starts, not with your bank account, but with your belief system. When you think short-term, when you wait for permission, when you trade your time for security instead of freedom. A poor mindset doesn't ask, how can I grow? It asks, how can I survive? And the longer you think like that, the more you become a prisoner of your own thoughts. You want to know why the rich keep getting richer? It's not just money, it's perspective. It's how they see time, how they use focus, how they control emotion. They don't think in days, they think in decades. They don't chase, they build. If you're still broke, it's not because you're incapable. It's because you've been running a script that tells you wealth is for someone else, that you're not good enough, that you have to stay where you are. But you don't. You can change the script. You can break the pattern. You can rebuild your mindset from the ground up. And it starts right now, not when it's comfortable, not when you have more time. Now, because every day you think like a poor man, you live like one. And every day you challenge that thinking, you level up. If this message shook something inside you, subscribe now. This is where we destroy the mindset that's been holding you back your entire life. The poor mindset wants everything now. Fast money, fast comfort, fast success. It craves shortcuts because it's addicted to survival. It doesn't ask, is this sustainable? It asks, how fast can I feel better? That's why it chases lottery tickets, easy wins, dopamine hits, and that's why it stays broke. The rich mindset plays a different game. It delays gratification. It invests time, energy, and focus, knowing the return won't come today or tomorrow, but later, much later. And that's the key. The poor mindset can't wait. It needs results instantly to feel safe. But the rich, they train themselves to be uncomfortable now so they never have to beg later. This is why most people fail. They don't stay long enough in the process. They quit before it compounds. They jump from plan to plan, idea to idea, because nothing is working fast enough. But the truth is, nothing great ever does. Every empire takes time. Every fortune takes focus. Every transformation takes pain. If you want to escape the poor mindset, stop needing quick results. Start building with patience, mastery, vision. Because while others are chasing speed, you'll be building depth. And when their motivation fades, your discipline will still be standing. That's the difference. Poor minds want to feel good now. Rich minds want to live free forever. And every time you choose the long game over the shortcut, you step out of poverty and into power. The poor mindset sees every expense as a loss. It holds on to money with fear. It asks, how much does it cost? Instead of, what will it return? And that's why it stays stuck. Because it sees education as expensive, but ignores the cost of ignorance. It sees coaching as unnecessary, but never questions years of going in circles. It sees books, tools, and training as luxuries, when in reality, they're leverage. The rich mindset flips the question. It doesn't ask, can I afford it? It asks, can I afford not to? Because it understands this. If you're not investing in your mind, your skills, your evolution, you're falling behind. Every dollar spent on becoming sharper, stronger, and smarter comes back multiplied. Not always instantly, but always eventually. Poor thinkers fear losing money. Rich thinkers fear staying the same. That's why one protects their small pile, while the other builds a fortress. Because at the end of the day, wealth doesn't just come from what you earn, it comes from who you become. And the fastest way to become more is to invest in yourself. If you keep seeing opportunity as a threat, if you keep choosing comfort over challenge, if you keep waiting for the perfect time to grow, You'll always live behind people who moved when you hesitated. So ask yourself, are you spending or are you planting? One keeps you broke. The other sets you free. The poor mindset worships hard work. It believes that grinding endlessly is the path to freedom. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Working hard without thinking smart keeps you broke. Because effort without vision is just movement. And movement without direction doesn't build wealth. It burns energy. Poor minds say, just work harder. Rich minds ask, is this scalable? Is this aligned? Is this building freedom? Or just keeping me busy? Because they understand that hustle without purpose is just modern slavery. You can work 16 hours a day and still be trapped if you never stop to think differently. That's the trap. Society trains you to be a worker, not a builder. To be exhausted, not elevated. To be useful, but never dangerous. And the more you believe that success is about pain alone, the more you'll chase burnout instead of breakthrough. The rich don't just work hard, they work with leverage. They learn how to multiply time, how to delegate, how to build systems. They don't trade hours for money, they trade ideas for freedom. And that only happens when you stop glorifying effort and start building intelligently. So ask yourself, is your grind leading somewhere? Or are you just running in circles, too proud to stop and question the plan? Discipline matters. Work ethic matters. But without direction, without high-level thinking, you'll stay in the same place, just more tired. Don't just work harder, think higher. The poor mindset wants to be liked. It wants to fit in. It avoids standing out because it fears judgment, criticism, and rejection. It trades authenticity for validation. And that mindset, it keeps people stuck in average forever. Because the more you seek approval, the more you shrink your power to match other people's comfort. Wealth doesn't come from playing small. It doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being bold, being clear, and being willing to be misunderstood. The rich mindset doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait to be accepted. It decides, it leads, it acts, even when others don't understand it yet. Poor thinkers need applause. Rich thinkers build results. One seeks validation, the other seeks freedom. And that's the line you have to choose. Are you living to be accepted, or are you building a life that speaks for itself? Every time you silence yourself to fit in, you're burying your potential. Every time you wait for someone else to believe in you before you act, you're reinforcing the idea that your power depends on their opinion. But it doesn't. You don't need their support. You don't need their permission. You need courage. You need to think like the man you were meant to become, not like the one they trained you to be. So stop chasing respect from people who haven't built what you want. Start becoming someone who doesn't ask for validation because he doesn't need it. He earns it silently, through action. You want to know why you're still broke? It's not your job. It's not the economy. It's not your past. It's your mind. You've been trained to think small, to doubt yourself, to fear failure, to settle. That training started early, at home, at school, in the culture around you. And now, without even realizing it, you think like someone who's supposed to stay stuck. But deep down, you feel it. That pressure, that frustration, that quiet voice that keeps saying, you were meant for more. And that voice is right. But it will never win until you stop feeding the one that keeps you poor. Poverty is not just a financial state, it's a mental cage. A system of thoughts that punishes ambition and rewards comfort, that praises struggle but rejects strategy, that tells you to work harder but never to think bigger. And the only way out is through discipline, awareness, and the courage to destroy what you've been taught. You have to rewire everything. Your relationship with time, with risk, with failure, with success. You have to stop asking, what do I need to survive? And start asking, what must I become to thrive? That's how rich people think. That's how they move. That's why they build things that last. while most just chase paychecks and applause. And here's the truth most will never accept. You don't have to stay broke. But you do have to change who you are. You have to kill the fear. You have to replace excuses with action. You have to choose discipline when comfort calls. And you have to think like a man who owns his life, even if the world hasn't seen it yet. Because money follows leadership. Wealth follows vision. Freedom follows decisions. And none of that comes to the man who keeps waiting, doubting, hesitating. It comes to the man who levels up internally first, who does the work in silence, who builds the mind that no failure can break. So stop asking when it gets easier. Start asking when you get stronger. Because you're not stuck. You're just still thinking like someone who is. If this message spoke to you, leave a comment now. Say it out loud. I'm done thinking poor. I'm building a rich mind. And if you're ready to break the cycle, to level up your discipline, your mindset, and your life, subscribe now. This isn't motivation, this is war. And the enemy lives in your head. Kill the poor mindset and watch what rises in its place.